Number one, develop the habit of daily goal setting and goal orientation. Now, daily goal setting is quite simple. Get yourself a spiral notebook, like a school notebook, to write your goals in, and resolve to keep it nearby for the rest of your life. Each morning before you start out, open your spiral notebook and start a new page without referring to the old page. And always begin with the words, "My goals are the following, : You then write down your top 10 to 15 goals in the present tense, as though you have already achieved them. For example, you would not say, "I earn," or "I will earn this amount of money." You say, "I earn this amount of money by this date. I drive this car. I weigh this amount," and so on. Your subconscious mind is only activated by commands that are stated in the present, positive, personal tense. So again, instead of writing a goal such as, "I am going to lose weight in the months ahead," you would write, "I weigh X number of pounds by a certain date." Instead of saying, "I will earn more money over the next year," you would say, "I earn X number of dollars by such and such a date." The more specific you can be in terms of what you want and when you want to achieve it, expressed in the positive present tense, and beginning with the word "I," the more powerful the effect will be on your subconscious mind. Goals written and stated in this way activate the laws of expectation and the law of attraction. They cause you to develop new beliefs about what is possible for you. They also activate the laws of emotion and correspondence. They increase your energy and stimulate your creativity. Positive, personal, present tense goals written down repeatedly each day activate your subconscious and superconscious minds and step on the accelerator of your own potential. As a result, you start to move more rapidly toward the achievement of your goals, and they begin to move more rapidly toward you. When you're driving through the day, think about your goals. When you're talking to other people, think about your goals. You see, you do become what you think about most of the time. You do achieve what you think about most of the time. So all successful people and all wealthy people think about their goals most of the time.
Here's what's important to understand. People is where the fortune is. In fact, you could just interchange the two words, fortune, people. People, fortune. I talked to a banker one time and he said, "I'm in the banking business." And I said, "Well, does a corporation borrow money from you? You know, do the banks and the offices and the office chairs and the systems of the corporation borrow the money?" And he said, "No, someone from the company comes and fills out a loan and I loan money to the company." Then I said, "Really what you're in is the people business. You're not in the money business or the banking business, you're in the people business." And so it's true with all of us. We're in the people business. So that's where you have to take great care in your business. Yes, take care of your money. Yes, take care of your system. Take care of the setup. Take care of the meetings. Take care of all the details. But here's what you've got to do if you really want to make a fortune. Take care of your people. Because people is where the fortune is. If you help them grow, they'll help you grow. If you develop them under you, they will lift you up. You can lift up sales and it'll fall back down. You can lift up volume and it'll fall back down. Lift up the people and you won't fall down. You'll have the foundation. There you'll be ready for the future.
Another habit that you can establish is to be results-oriented. There's always 100 things that you can do, but the ability to set priorities is one of the most important of all skills that we have as an adult, is to pick, if you have even two things. And I learned this from Ludwig von Mises, what is called the law of the excluded alternative. And it said this, that doing one thing means not doing something else. So if you have two things to do, one of them is more valuable than the other. One of them is always more valuable on a scale in terms of what is likely to happen, the results and everything else. One is always more valuable. The ability to identify and determine which of the two is most valuable and to do that, and only that, is a mark of leadership. The ability to set priorities throughout your business with regard to money, resources, time is absolutely essential. And this is important. Many people focus and concentrate on things that are not that important. Imagine with your workload, imagine you could only do one task before you were called out of town for a month. And every single morning when you look at your list of work before you start, say, if I was to be called out of town for a month and I had to get one thing done before I left, which one would it be? And if you will do that, if you'll think like that, and because it'll pop out at you, you know what it is, then the question is, do you have the discipline to Do that rather than check your email and phone around and read the paper and get some more coffee and shuffle your papers and, stuff that I know you don't know anything about. Here's a great discovery, and I've worked on this extensively. Your ability to solve problems is usually the critical factor in your promotion, your income, your success, and so on. Success is the ability to solve problems. Between you and any goal you have, especially a financial goal, the only thing that stands between you is problems. Your ability to remove the obstacles that hold you back from achieving your financial goals is the critical skill of all. And what is the most important thing that solving problems requires? Thinking, defining the problems clearly, defining the solutions clearly, picking the most important solution to the most important problem and taking action on it and working on it and expecting it not to work a few times until you finally break it through. One of my favorite stories, which you're familiar with, is Thomas Edison working on the electric light bulb. And the story of it is very interesting. It goes back for years, but bottom line is, after conducting 5,000 experiments, and these were mentioned in the newspapers, a journalist came to him and he said, Mr. Edison, why do you persist in trying to invent an electric light bulb when everybody knows that man was meant to light their way through life with kerosene lanterns? He said, you failed 5,000 times. Is that a good use of resources? And his answer was this. Remember, he said, young man, you don't understand the way the world works. I have not failed at all. I have successfully identified 5,000 ways that will not work, which puts me just 5,000 ways closer to the electric light bulb, and I will have the electric light bulb. It was experiment 11,332 or something like that, where the filament lasted and the light bulb burned all night, and it changed the world. But he said, there's no question. He said, all of success is simply taking away all the ways that don't work until the only way that's left is the way that will. And that's very important for us, is to realize every time you make a mistake, you say, hey, that's progress. That's one more way that doesn't work. Another habit you can have is to stay health-oriented.
Got to take care of yourself. Do not neglect to take care of yourself. Key phrase, vitality is a major part of success. Vitality. I know a guy that raises racehorses. I'm telling you, the guy feeds his horses better than he feeds himself. He's so careful what they eat. He's so careful that they get everything. But you ought to see this guy. 10 steps up a flight of stairs, and I mean, he's all out of breath. Some people feed their dogs better than they feed their kids. Get involved in some form of disciplined exercise. Keeping fit and feeling good has a positive effect on your attitude, not just your appearance. Even if you're not into sports, there are some cassette programs and books on how to stay in excellent shape in only 20 to 30 minutes a day. Get the tapes and find your best way to stay physically fit. Just develop a bit of consciousness about taking care of yourself physically. Physical fitness pays great dividends in terms of your energy level, your ability to live a long, healthy life, and your general sense of well-being. Do all you can to stay fit, to stay healthy, and to stay well, because physical health and fitness affect how you feel about yourself and how you perform in the marketplace. When you feel good about yourself, other people will feel good about you too. Appearance, vigor, vitality, and well-being have a lot to do with how your life works out.
And the final habit is that of self-discipline. And I have written and spoken upon this for years and years and years, but self-discipline seems to be the foundation habit that makes everything else possible. And the best definition of self-discipline is that self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. You see, anybody can do it if they feel like it. It's when you don't feel like it and you do it anyway that you eventually develop the self-discipline that makes everything else possible.
We all must suffer one of two pains. Regardless of your choice of lifestyle and what you want to do, we must all suffer one of two pains. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And what we suggest to everybody is to consider the disciplines, because disciplines weigh ounces, regrets weigh tons. You don't want to substitute a discipline for a regret. In our opinion, that would be a poor choice. Now, you can do it, but some things are poor trade-offs. The old prophet said, what if you gained the whole world, but it cost you your soul? Would that be worth it? And with a bit of intelligence, we say, no, that doesn't seem worth it. Even if you got the whole world, if you traded your soul, that experience would be so bitter and so awful and so devastating, it wouldn't be worth it. What if you got some gain by greed instead of legitimate ambition? I'm telling you, it might taste good up front, but it's going to turn bitter in the belly. For some people, they see discipline as sort of an ugly word. Don't talk to me about discipline. But what you must understand is discipline is a most incredible creative force. Discipline builds a career. Discipline develops good health. Discipline forms the most incredible marriage. Discipline puts together a friendship that won't quit forever. Discipline develops skills that can be magnified, and touch the world. And the disciplines is the open door to the creative process to turn nothing into something and to turn imagination into reality. So here's what you must learn to do: appreciate the disciplines and welcome the disciplines. The key to development is to be all that you can possibly be. I don't know what your talents are. I don't know what your skills are, but here's what I probably am right on, that you're behind on an accelerated effort toward your full development. I would suggest that. Now, for some of you, I know that's probably really not true. But even as I look at my own life, because, I'm tempted to procrastinate just like everybody else. I should have written 30 books by now. I've only written 4 or 5. I should have done a lot of things, but I haven't. I got distracted, and all of us, have these challenges. But what could I become? What could I become? I had one of my dearest friends. I've lost him. He died at age 53. One day, and he drank a little too much. David drank a little too much, but he did all kinds of things. He was a builder, and he was a dreamer, and he did a lot of things. But his drinking sort of kept him in a fog for like years and years. About 6 years ago, he was sitting at the yacht club, and he was in a fog. And suddenly it occurred to him, I wonder what I could have accomplished all these years if I hadn't have been in this sort of foggy state. And he said that did it. And the last 6 years before he died, he was free. And he accomplished some incredible things that last 6 years. Being all that you can be and not let habits drag you down. Not let things, sidetrack you from the full development of what you have the capable of being. What all could your heart encompass if you really had the chance and you really had the disciplines and really got to it? What could you really become? What could you earn? How healthy could you really be? How many books could you write? How many poems could you write? So here's what I would ask of you. If you feel that you're a little bit stalled, wherever you are in your progress, I'm asking you to correct that. I'm asking you to see if you can't possibly be on a more accelerated track toward your possibilities and your full development. Here's what life is all about: to become all that we can possibly be. Number 2 is the wise use of all of your resources. That's what life is all about.
If it's a foggy night and you can only see 100 feet, how can you see another 100 feet? Answer, walk the first 100 feet. Walk as far as you can see, and then you can see some more. And walk as far as you can see, and then you can see some more. So what you've picked up here, just do it as far as you can see it. And I promise you, if you'll execute as far as you can see it, you'll be able to see more. Do that, then you can see more. Do not neglect to do whatever you can do at the moment.